Listen up. There's something I believe you need to hear today. God doesn't do math. When Jesus saw the masses, he saw 5,000 people. He fed them and said, get the 5 loaves and the 2 fish from the little boy, and he fed the masses. God doesn't do math. When David faced Goliath, scripture and text say that Goliath was anywhere between about 9.5 to almost 10.5 feet tall. David was 5 foot tall. No comparison. God doesn't do math, right? When Gideon was facing the Midianites, God actually said, you got too many men. Let them go. Get down to the 300. I'll defeat them with 300. God does not do math. We do math. He doesn't do math. So right now, the things you're facing in your life that just don't add up. Maybe you're trying to start a business and you're like, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money to make this work. I don't have enough education. I don't have enough connections. Guess what? God doesn't do math. He's called you to do it. He's going to do it. Maybe it's your marriage. Maybe there's places in your marriage that have just been broken and full of pain, and you just look at it and you're like, this has gone on for months or years, and there's this problem and that problem, so many problems, and the odds are stacked against me. God doesn't do math. Maybe it's something with your kids. Maybe it's your job. Maybe it's your finances. Maybe it's your weight. Maybe it's an addiction problem. There's so many different places where in our minds, we start to do math and we line up the history and we say, well, there's this reason, and these odds are stacked against me, and these resources are limited, and we don't have enough this, we don't have enough that, and the odds of this even working. And you know how many people fail in this situation? God doesn't. God doesn't do math. What he calls us to do is the same thing like Gideon, same thing with the boy with the loaves and the fish, same thing like David. He asks us to do 2 things. 1, to be obedient, and 2, to give it everything we got. That's it. We bring everything and he does the rest. He fills in the rest. He fills in the math. So right now, if there's some part of your life where you're just like making excuses and finding yourself stuck and even beating yourself up or getting sad or depressed or defeated, let me ask you a question. Is it because you're doing math? Is it because you're looking at the thing and you're saying, oh, well, we got to sell our house and we don't have enough time and the market's not that good? I have a story like that. When the market collapsed in 2008 and God called me to sell our house and to move to Florida, and I was like, it's the worst market. And I remember standing out on my front lawn and I remember talking to my friend Martin, and I was talking to him, and all of a sudden the Lord started preaching to me through me. And I said, good thing God's promises don't depend on the market, right? Because God doesn't do math. So in your life right now, I just challenge you, is there a place in your life where you're allowing depression, defeat, procrastination to enter your life? And is it because you're doing math and not realizing that Alpha, Omega, Jireh, he doesn't do math? God bless.